Well, tell me, what do you want? And we will deliver. Let's get into Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the remake. Metal Gear Solid 3 is what I'm going to call it, the remake. And we're super excited because it's already been announced. You're watching the actual cinematic teaser trailer. We still haven't got gameplay just yet, but I wanted to make a video to break down some potential elements and as well start the discussion with the community. What do you want to see? Let's get into it as we go down the rabbit hole. We already know that this game will be coming out for the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Steam, but we don't have a release date. What we can start getting into is the actual game functions, okay? And we're gonna break down a bunch of different things, and we want you guys to also participate, sharing your thoughts and comments. We appreciate your love and support, so please, right down below, make sure you leave a comment, like, and subscribe. With that in mind, let's get into it. You can see right here, I am using the old school camera for this game, where it's a little bit over the top. You can see a little bit in front of you, behind you. This adds a little more suspense and thriller feeling to it, and I love that about it. But they did create an option where you can go into what we consider the normal camera modes in video games, which just gives you the free roam where you can look around behind you and around you in third person, which is the standard right now. So I believe that should be back. That's number one in my book. Simple things to be back. What do you want to come back? Let us know. One that I don't think should come back is this right here, this loading screen. Every time I get to a new area, I have to load in and load out. This is next gen remake, and I believe that this will be unnecessary for the game if they want to make it better. As you can see, I'm in a new area, and the moment that I want to lead back to a different spot, it loads this up. That should be gone from the game as well, in my opinion. No loading screens once you're in the actual match. And talking about loading screens and so on, let's get into a mechanic that always frustrated me, and it's something that we see fairly often in here, which is crouching and proning, right? You can prone and move forward, but you cannot crouch and walk forward, unfortunately, in Metal Gear Solid 3. And the thing is while I understand that they probably should take it easy with implementing this or not, I do think all of these new modern games, such as the Phantom Pain and various others, allowing you to crawl while moving is essential to sneaking, and it adds an extra value of gameplay. Very simple mechanic, as you can see here. It works very well, and it's pretty easy to do, guys. I think that that should be implemented as well as one of the great features. And speaking of great features, this is a mechanic that is missing from this game. As you can see right here, when I go to pull out my weapon, I can have it in two ways. I can have it in third person, where I don't really have control and it's basically auto aim or nothing, or I can go and look in and then get my shots in this way. And while these are both good for a 2004 video game, we're sitting here in 2020, and things need to change. And of course, we can look no further than the Phantom Pain, where I can easily pull out a weapon and just go right over the shoulder while I'm moving. I can infiltrate. I could even go down, crawl over the shoulder, and crouch, crawl, prone, everything. And that just helps the fluidity of the game. And if I want to zoom in, I can zoom in as well. And that is something that I think needs to change drastically, in my opinion. And there's so much more to get into. I just wanted to touch on that. And now we're going to go into one of the biggest conversations, is the animals in this game. I believe they should make more, and then also make them more aggressive. As you can see here, I'm purposely trying to antagonize this dog. It's taking forever to attack me. I have to stand still and force him to attack me, basically, and just play dead here so that he can attack me, compared to other games where it's a lot more intuitive and aggressive gameplay. And we'll go ahead and showcase some of that with the Phantom Pain, where these dogs will jump on top of you. You have to push them off of you, or they will completely annihilate you. And it's such a cool feature. You can see here, apologies for our subscribe, like, and notification button, but just an example of a feature that I think this game should have. As you can see, I'm going to push this dog off, and that is exactly what I mean that I think should be implemented. Now, there's a lot of different animals already in the amazing Metal Gear Solid 3 experience, but they have way more in the Phantom Pain, and of course they can do even more with the new engine that they're using for this game. So I believe more aggressive, maybe a bear attacking you, and then also attacking the enemies. It's one of the great features, but I think they should implement more animals and make them way more aggressive. In this game, the alligator, for example, is so easy to walk over without getting hurt. And just an example of something that I don't think should remain. Now, we're going to get into something that's not controversial, but I believe some people might like this old school style where you go into your inventory and you get to move around. Now, remember, this actually pauses the game. This stops the action. So I don't believe that this is modern day experience. You shouldn't be able to stop in the middle of a fight and pause the whole game in that way. You can see here, I'm actually getting chased. This is a live feed. And if I just pause, I'll be here for a half hour if I wanted to. This needs to end. And there's a lot of ways to do that. And we're going to go right into the Phantom Pain and showcase what I mean by the new changes. If they made it so that you can press the D-pad up, down, left, and right, you're going to have very cool system where you can jump into the box, get out of the box with a quick tap of the button, or if I hold it, I can switch out, put on my night vision. If I tap it, I'll switch back, and then of course I have my D-pad down. I can pick my my pistols, or I can use some items. For example, I have my mags. I can throw them at enemies. If I want to use sleeping gas, stun grenades, C4, any item, all of it can fit within here somewhat. And then if not, I just go into my book bag and switch out whichever weapons I need at the moment. I think this is going to allow for a fluid gameplay and a better experience, in my opinion. Very simple change, but very drastic, that can really amplify the game to the maximum. And now we're going to talk about something very special that most of us loved in this game. It is a survival game, Metal Gear Solid 3, and I absolutely love it for that. And we're going to see some of the mechanics in here right now. You're going to see when you go into the menu, you have to pick specific cures, whether it's some ointment or a bandage and things like that, to be able to heal specific wounds. And it's very cool because you can see the x-rays, and then once in a while you'll pop up a special cutscene in this menu where it shows you healing up. This is very old, 2004. All right, we're almost 20 years into this game being released, and I do believe that it should have more things like what you're about to see. Even though this is a cutscene, if they did this in game, I think it would be much better. In the middle of a situation, if I want to heal up, I have to get out of a fight and survive it, and then fix my arm and fix my leg and heal up wounds and do that type of thing, not in a cutscene, but in an actual gameplay sense, where I think that would be possibly the best aspect in general to look forward to, in my opinion. Okay, now there's so much more to get into, but that's just some of the things that I believe is important for us to kind of talk about and look at and think about as players who absolutely love this game, and myself included. You know, we do love the memories of the original game and what it offered, but we also have to be honest about the need for growth and for change and to improve. And this is one of those features, in my opinion, that would help it drastically. There's plenty of more to get into and to kind of discuss a little bit, but I just wanted to touch on that and get your guys' opinion. If you see the Phantom Pain, they don't have this engine anymore, the Fox engine, so it's not going to be exactly the same, but I do believe some of the functions should be in the game, just like the shoulder, being able to switch over to any weapon, pick different items fast. This is all very smooth stealth action. All right, and I do believe that that's what they should focus on, in my opinion, to enhance the gameplay as well as bring it to the modern day. If it's a remake, you want it to be up to date. You don't want it to linger in the past and get stuck with bad mechanics that, not bad, they were great for their time, but it's time for an upgrade. Those are my core thoughts and ideas of what I believe should be implemented. There's so much more. I actually have a video for MGO, Metal Gear Online. They hinted at some news for Metal Gear Online, and I have a video breaking that down. So if you want to go check that out now, please do. We will get into more Metal Gear as time goes, because this is just the start. We're going to be covering this, so we want you to show love and support to continue to build from here as we go forward. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Go ahead, leave what you think needs to be added, what shouldn't change, and so on and so on. There's so much discussion in this, and nobody's wrong. What you feel or love should stay if that's what you like, but we can't get everything, and we're gonna see what happens. This is a next gen experience for this. I'm very excited about it. I cannot wait. So thank you guys for tuning in. See you soon. Peace.